So we'll see what Mina Kimes has to say about this game, because also, for the amount of man coverage that they play on 3rd and long, and when the defenders have their backs turned to the quarterback that way, how easy it is for the quarterbacks, particularly against this defense, to take off in those spots. I'd be curious to see what Mina's analysis of that is in particular, as well as Lucas, who wants to pepper her with World Cup questions. So how you want to do this with Mina Kimes? You want to go straight into the World Cup, or you want to get her football X's and O's analysis first?
Mina, have you seen the South Korean commentary of the game-winning goal in stoppage time to beat Portugal?
Yeah, it sounds a lot like my mom on the phone, to be honest. But yeah, I have seen it.
Let's listen to this. This is unbelievable.
손흥민 3명! 손흥민 잡아갖고 손흥민 기적이 일어났습니다. 고아의 기적입니다.
The joy sweeping over an entire nation is unbelievable. What a finish. South Korea beats Portugal and sends Uruguay home. Just a fantastic day at the World Cup.
They get you hyped up to start your Friday, Mina? By the way, lovely to have you on again. Thanks for taking some time.
Thanks. It's good to be here. Yeah, I'm on the West Coast, so the other games have been at 5 a.m., so finally one to wake up with, and what a game. I mean, I didn't have the expectations that Korea would come out with the win, but it's been that kind of World Cup, right? I mean, upsets right and left. This has been a fun one.
Yeah, certainly the U.S. will have an opportunity to try and keep their hopes alive tomorrow against the Netherlands. Mina, this is moving to the football, however, because I know you've got a limited amount of time, and we do appreciate you taking some. This is as fun a schematic matchup as is on the board this weekend, in a weekend full of fantastic games. I wonder what jumps off the page to you initially when you look forward to a game like the Titans at the Eagles.
Well, I had earmarked this game, I want to say, actually, when the Eagles were still undefeated, just because I felt like the Titans matched up with them pretty well on both sides of the ball. And I still feel that way. But I do think that there are some things that the Titans have to fix, particularly on offense, to stay competitive in this one. And then on defense, I'm very curious to hear, maybe you guys can update me on Autry's status, but I'm curious to see how they approach a matchup that's very different from the ones they faced thus far this season. You guys know this has been one of, if not the best run defenses in the NFL, but with the Eagles, having an extra runner in Jalen Hurts, it adds a different dimension, and I think could force them to make some adjustments on that side of the ball.
Well, certainly, and as you mentioned, the personnel additions because I remember seeing that clip going around from NFL Live, and obviously you can watch NFL Live weekdays. They have an incredible cast. It's great discussion. They're even getting shout outs from LeBron James in their spare time. You guys are killing it right now, Mina.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But with the additional, with basically Howie Roseman, I guess just somebody asking somebody, hey, who weighs 300 pounds and is still available on the free agent market? Let's go ahead and put them in the middle of the defense while we await Jordan Davis's return. The Titans' offense is such a. It is a frustration for several years at this point, Mina, because they're so counterculture and they still find ways to win games anyway. And I know the thing that you have spent a lot of time discussing, no matter what their offense looks like, the ability to capitalize in the red zone has been a staple of what it is that they do. And all of a sudden we're looking around last Sunday and Cincinnati holds them over and they lose by 4 points, but the margin for error for them is just that slim. They cannot squander those opportunities if they arise against Philadelphia. And I wonder what you made of Cincinnati and the way that they were able to stop the Titans.
Yeah, red zone is funny because usually there's a little bit of luck involved, right? Like teams who are really great in the red zone one year, it tends to regress the next year. But in the Mike Vrabel the Titans have been top 5 in red zone efficiency every year. And by the way, that's when Derrick Henry was out. They did not have a decline in their efficiency in the red zone. So it's not just Derrick Henry. So to get blanked, obviously, you're going to lose, frankly. And it's the single biggest reason why they lost against Cincinnati. And I would attribute it to a few things. Cincinnati, I thought, was actually more physical on the defensive line. Now, obviously, you guys know the Titans have been banged up on their offensive line and didn't have Ben Jones in that game. But you saw on early downs when they ran the ball, the Bengals had a ton of success, especially using those bear fronts. DJ Reader was a monster stopping the run. And then they were also really successful getting pressure without blitzing on early downs. So I think for Tennessee, what I'd like to see, and you know, I know you guys seem to have a love-hate relationship with Todd Downing down there, is a little bit more, I would say, surprise on early down, not just in the red zone, but more generally some tendency breakers. You know, I think over the last few weeks, you've seen a couple of those young pass catchers, Traylon Burks and Chigaquanko. I'm saying his name right?
Okonkwo.
Okay, so I'm really high on him. That dude just comes down with the football. So
He's
I feel
a stud.
like, you know, you're starting. It looked like such a weakness on this team, but actually in recent weeks, you're seeing, hey, these pass catchers are pretty dang good, and I'd like to see them get more involved on early downs.
Yeah, they came out that way against the Broncos. It was bizarre to watch them pass on first down so much, and people were starting to, you know, if you don't run Derrick Henry enough here, people start to lose their minds and pull their hair out, even if it's not the most efficient way, because that's just the nature of the way that people perceive things. But I would absolutely agree with that assessment. The Eagles' offense as complete as any in football this year?
You know, I actually don't think so.
Okay.
Candidly, you know, because we haven't really. They've been tested, but we haven't seen them play from behind very much. And of course, it is an offense that's built to play with a lead because of how good they are running the football. Now, they do have a bunch of change-ups. If you take away the run, stack the box against them, I'm curious to see how Titans approach that, given that they tend to play with light boxes. You know, they can kill you with RPOs, with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So they are very complete, but I don't think they're as complete or as dominant as, say, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, something to keep in mind. Mina Kimes, ESPN here with us, NFL Live weekdays. Check it out with the entire cast and crew. With Jalen Hurts, though, the way that they work so much of this around him and his ability to recognize just open space, not just in the middle of the field when it comes to the passing game, because obviously they're playing to his strengths there, but the way that he takes off before sometimes he even hits his back foot in the middle of his drop and just goes because he understands that he's going to be able to make a play there. Titans play so much man coverage in their dime situations, particularly on 3rd and 6+ this year, Mina. We've seen Patrick Mahomes kill him that way. We saw Burrow take advantage a couple of times. I don't necessarily know what the answer to that is. I don't know if you have a better one.
Well, I definitely wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play a ton of man against this team for the obvious reasons. And then I wouldn't do what the Green Bay Packers did, which is play almost entirely sub packages, including on early downs, and just basically seed the run altogether. Frankly, I think with the Eagles, and this is not to diminish Hurts or say that he's incapable of beating you this way, but you want to force them to beat you through the air. You want to try your luck with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith downfield. The Bucks had a lot of success doing that last year in the playoffs. Now, this is a very different Eagles offense. Obviously, not just the addition of A.J. Brown, but also Jalen Hurts has progressed as a passer since then. But you can't let them kill you with, 7 to 10 yards a pop on the ground the way Green Bay did.
At Mina Kimes is where you can follow her. You can watch her on television, on the NFL Live, on First Take. She's everywhere. She's got takes. She's got analysis. She's one of the best in the business, and we're grateful that she took a little time on this Friday. Mina, enjoy the football this weekend, and we'll see what this game looks like.
Good luck. Hoping for a good one.
Me too. I've never been to Philly. I'm hoping nobody throws anything at me. Mina Kimes there with us on 104.5 The